Soon as we step on the mic, man, you notice the difference. Heavenly blessed with the melanin, baby, you know that we winning. No time for the long talk, got 120 on the clock. Wednesday, 8 through 10, all the bad vibes better stop. Cause you gotta come with that energy. Casual convos, baby, come down and just sit with me. Lil' Coco be spitting that remedy. Casual convos, baby, come down and just sit with me. You better take this shit serious. She dropping knowledge on head and it's free for the play. Tap it right now if you curious. We got the ham radio going lit every day. We go from people to family to pilots. Stay with me if you got something to say. You know it's important if we go acknowledge. Speak on the business and get out the way. What you gonna say about my mama? She winning, you rockhead.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Casual Convo Show. So we talk about a lot of stuff. Business, personal, relationships. We had the casual convo, so you had the tough convo. Y'all excuse me, but I'm on my phone, so I couldn't really, drop the jewels that we do in the beginning. But we had a good conversation, so you don't have to have the tough convo. That's what we call casual convo. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm your co-host, Boscoe from the Bronx, and I got my host in the building, Coco. What up, y'all?
Hello.
Hi, y'all.
I'm sorry, I just saw it. That tickled me. I'm like,
I was trying to pull it up on my other computer, but I forgot I had shut it down. And I thought I had it on standby, and I'm like, oh shoot! And I was sitting there trying to punch everything. I said I ain't gonna make it.
It's okay, we good.
But I'm getting it hooked up, so I'm gonna switch to my laptop in a second once we finish doing this stuff.
All right. So how are you?
Hey, fresh off the Trump rally.
Before we get into that, because that's going to take a minute, we're going to start. I guess let's just get the mental health checking out the way. I'm gonna say I'm great. However, I will say keep my brother in prayer.
No
he's
doubt.
in the hospital, since he already posted it. I think it's safe to do that. Also, continue to keep Paul in prayer. Our best supporters. I did check on him, not as I should have, but I did check on him. He said he was doing well this whole time, recovering well. So yeah, keep him in prayer, all that good stuff. But other than that, I'm gonna say I'm humble. Let's just say that. So I would say my mental health is great. How about you?
I'm good. My mental health is good. I've been going to therapy, so I'm doing, I'm doing good. I have my ups and downs, but all in all, I'm doing good. I just gotta get this laptop going.
All right. So do you want to do your 5 minutes or?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me talk about the Trump rally today.
Oh, we're just gonna get into it. This ain't gonna be no 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Let me get to the Trump rally.
All right.
Trump supporters got a reputation of being bullies, nasty, disrespectful, and everything else. We see a lot of stuff on TV, and that's TV can screw things around away, But I actually went to one today because we had it here in Asheville, North Carolina. We also had a KKK rally. If you didn't know that, it's kind of ironic. He has his rally and you have a KKK rally at the same time. Anyway,
wait a minute, they was at the same time.
KK rally going on right now. And it's a bunch of red hats up there too.
Oh.
Anyway, I want to see for myself, what are Trump supporters like? And let me tell everyone, and I don't care if someone say, you're just hating. No, I saw it firsthand today. Before I started going back off on them, they have no respect for no one but Trump supporters, but themselves. The police politely said, could the vendors move down because they was going to let out the Civic? Well, it's a Cherokee, Hannah Cherokee Center. They're going to let the center out.
Just remind us, this is in Asheville, right?
Asheville, North Carolina. Western North Carolina.
You are. So all of this happened today.
All this happened today.
Okay.
They're going to let the people out of the arena. So they asked the vendors, can y'all move down, so the people can come out, make some room for them to come out.
Okay.
Trump supporters wanted to fight the police. For the police just asking that. They said, look, can y'all move down? The first Trump supporter to get out of hand was a black Trump supporter. Cussing, going off on everybody. Of course, me being who I am, I was like, sit your ass down. If they tase your ass, I bet you move. He out there raising hell. And his Trump supporters are going off too. And the police said, look, we just asking y'all to move down so we can let And see, they're trying to let other Trump supporters come out of the building. They're out there going off on the police, trying to start shit. So I had my little shirt on. I changed it because I sweated up so much. It talked about racism. So one Trump supporter wanted to say something slick out the mouth to me. So I say to him, we can go behind the building and settle this right now if that's what you want to do. Bring your buddies can come too. Come on. Oh, you just want to fight? I said, no, I didn't say a word to you, but you saying something to me. So, as I told you off air, they tried to gang this one woman. She had a sign. It just said Kamala Harris and I forgot his name. Walsh, you know, the VP.
Walsh.
Yeah, what? They surrounded her like gang members, and they said, "Read this book." And she said, "Look, I don't want to read it. I'm fine." And they basically forced her. Then they got in her face.
What was the book?
It's some shit that Trump wrote. They got their own little book. Their own little book. I flipped through some of the pages. This is why they're brainwashed. It's a book. It might be a good 100 pages, maybe 200 pages. But it basically, to be honest with you, it's Project 2025, put some other shit in it. That's what's in it. And the stuff they say, if you read it, and if you're not a Trump supporter, you could be a Republican. You could be a conservative.
Where Mike at? I need him to...
That book, it was a book I had seen when I was locked up. I still have it. It's the book they passed around over in the Middle East that turned Muslims into radicals. When I looked through that book, I said, that's just like the same book I seen when I was locked up. Because see, someone said, I had someone that had converted to Islam. It's like, I said, what makes them do what they do? And the guy said, they read this book. And I still have the book. And I asked a few of them, they said the same. They said, whatever you do, do not read this book. It will turn you to a radical. That book that the Trump supporters had, and God strike me dead, and I'm not talking about white Jesus, I'm talking about the all-powerful, whoever she may be, I say she, whoever she may be, strike me. That book is just like that book I read that convert good Muslims into terrorists. It's the same thing. And the woman was like, I don't want to read that book. And she was being like, and they literally
don't want her to read the book though. If she had a Kamala Harris sign,
yeah.
What influenced them to say, hey, look at this book and read this book?
Because see, they were trying to pass them out. And see, people who had signs, those are the ones they were see, they tried to approach me at first.
Oh, they were trying to convert y'all over.
Yeah, and I said, nah, I'm good, man. I said, I don't need to be brainwashed. And then when I seen her with the book, she just flipped through the page, and I said, this is some bullshit. She said, this is why I'm not reading. She said, y'all can have it. She said, I politely declined, and she handed it back. And they literally surrounded her. And I walked up to her, I said, yo, because that's when I seen the sign. I said, and I wanted to get the sign from her because I want to wait. And she held it like, I don't have time today. I said, no. I said, ma'am, I'm on your side. I said, I'm neutral, but I'm on your side. And she gave me the sign, and I held it up while she was talking to him. And I said, ma'am, I got an old saying someone taught me. You know the great thing about banging your head against the wall? She said, what? I said, it feels good when you stop. I said, don't talk to these guys. And they try to surround. I said, look, y'all gonna back up off of her. No. I said, back up, or we're gonna be fighting out here. So they let her out, and she walked with me, and it was another veteran. He was out there, and me and she stood between us two, because they still stood over there, and they were out there. It was like a gang rally. I'll be honest with you. And I told Trump, I was there firsthand.
But where was he?
He was inside. So he eventually came out. He came out. He finally came out, and when he came out, they were telling me and the veteran guy we had to go.
Why? Oh yeah.
Because we was like, yo, look,
Trump, y'all was heckling.
Suck on my dick. Yeah, we. Oh, it's on my wall, and it's also on my wall where one guy was running his mouth. I said, cross the barrier. Come on over here. I said, come on. I said, bring your boys with you. It's on my wall. I said, come on over. And
you don't go out there, people think
it was crazy. But see, the thing about it is, like, when I first got up there, the bullshit started right out the gate. One guy, and I was gonna knock him in his mouth.
Already like doing commotion, or were they in peace and then they saw y'all and then
When I walked up, it was kind of quiet. Well, it wasn't quiet. They just wasn't starting shit, but you could hear them over there talking shit.
Okay.
They were talking shit amongst each other. It was a bunch of them out there. It probably maybe about 300 or 400.
That way he was, as I seen something on it was like probably like an hour or two ago. Did he do a speech? And he was talking about the economy and her policies that she doesn't have or something like that. That was that?
I know he was. I didn't see the one you saw, but he was talking about that. Okay. So he finally came out. I seen him. Because they told me, the veteran, like they moved, it's like they told us to get out. Well, it was outside anyway, but they basically made us move on.
Right.
So we went around, and I was trying to cross the street to get to my car, and the guy like said, "You can't go this way." I said, "Well, my car." He said, "You got to go the other way." I said, "Dude, I'm trying to walk on the sidewalk." He said, "You can't go this way." I said, "I know." He apologized. I said, "It's all good, man." And I seen him, and of course, me being who I am, said, "You Trump." You know, he said, I know he heard me because he looked over at me. I said, "You old punk biatch." And but yeah, those guys are bullies. They are bullies. I don't care if you've never been to a Trump rally. Don't come to me talking about how the media swings things. So I saw it firsthand, and they love to pick on women. They love, because see, the men out there who was going off, they wouldn't do shit to us. They kept a distance. But anytime a woman had a sign, they ran up on them.
Well, do you think it's because they're in support of Kamala though?
Who?
The women. So, because I feel like there is a thing with women because.
But see, the signs they had didn't have nothing Kamala, had nothing to do. That one woman had the Kamala sign. The other one had the sign about one woman, me and her was together. She said anyone but Trump. Okay. That's the only sign she had. The other one had a sign I'll send you the picture. Basically, don't grab her in the you know.
Don't grab her.
Just women who just had, who just like anyone. You had some Kamala women, you had some Kamala men, but they never challenged the men. No matter what the men had on the sign, no matter what the men said, they kept their distance and said what they had to say to the men. With the women, they ran up on the women. And we were out there, nah, y'all ain't gonna do that shit. Like, it was 4 women. I got their picture. And she had a picture, she had it down by her waist, a post. I said, yo, and I yelled. She said, yeah. I said, raise that shit up. And she raised it up.
Hold on real quick. Jay said, I think more women are going to vote at this election. The thing is, more women vote anyway. That's why they always go to the women's rights and this whole thing. So even, not to cut you off, Boscoe,
yeah.
Trying to answer that. And that's why they're banking on her to get the female vote across the population of people. Because, and that's why she's pushing right now. Like, she's not really talking about policies. So we touched on it last week. So they said she's supposed to announce her policy plans and things like that this weekend. So I guess we can follow up with that next week. However, she's focused on the abortion rights, abortion laws, and a whole bunch of women's lib type stuff. And that's to get that black vote. Hey, Paul, we gave you a shout out at the beginning. We're praying for you. And I think that's the main thing. So, which made me ask, do you think maybe that's the reason why they're targeted at women? Because right now, even with the campaign on both sides, it seems like women are the targeted audience. So you do have women that's like, okay, women going to support women. However, what I am noticing, and I understand that happened in Asheville today, but just general conversations and online and watching news and all of those things like that, it's mixed. Honestly, I think it's going to be really close. I think we don't know exactly who's going to vote, but I think this election is going to be deep. to say the least. It's going to be real close. It's going to get real nasty. But which leads me to the next topic. I'm probably jumping the gun.
No, you good.
Jay said Hispanics too. Trump biggest fear is women and Hispanics and black teens that can vote. Not necessarily, because he pretty much got their vote.
Yeah, he does. I seen it uptown.
He pretty much got their vote, because it's not. You got to listen to what he say and what they don't and what they capitalize on. Like,
I saw it today. You're right.
In a negative way about him, but he also said he's not saying they can't come. See, he'll talk about the ones like the gang members, or because whenever you hear about someone that's illegal, commit a crime, a murder, or rape or something, he'll say, see, and he like, so he's saying they should be fingerprinted. They should go through the process to become legal citizens.
But you know something, Coco, about that? And I always challenge Trump supporter. Like I challenged my Trump supporter friend today. I said, you Trump supporters always saying violence is worse when it's a Democratic president in office. I said, and I posted a fact. I said, I went to the FBI website, a Homeland Security website, and I said, I said, do you know where more violence occurs? I said, in red states. And he's I said, look, I said, FBI is not going to lie. Homeland Security is not going to lie. The highest crime rates are in red states: Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee. That's 4 right there. The only of the top 10, the only ones that were blue states that were in the top 10 was California, I think Michigan, but I'm not sure if Michigan is blue or red yet. But I think it was 2 blue states out of 10. And I said, do you know who has the highest sex crime rates? I said, red states. I said, and Tennessee is in the top 10 of both of them. And I said, not only that, it's white males. I said, but you don't want to talk about that. And I see that's why the problem with Trump supporters, they listen to what he's saying, but they don't want to fact check him. Yeah. Crime goes down under a Democratic president. And you know me, I'm independent. Crime has gone down under the Democratic presidents. Under Republican presidents, the crime rate is higher. The deficit goes up. All that shit goes up. But they don't want to look at the facts. Because like I told my buddy today, I said, every time I ask you a question, you deflect to Biden, to Clinton, to Kamala. I said, in the 20 years I've known you, in the last 10 years since me and you started talking politics, I said, you always deflect. Like he tried to throw the shit at me about the Democrats starting KKK. I said, yes. I said, what you fail to realize is the Democrats of that day are the Republicans today. I said, if you don't believe me, go look up Robert Byrd. Like he tried to throw at me. Go look at Strom Thurmond. Look at FDR. Under FDR is the reason why the Democratic Party went red and the Republican Party went blue, because they wasn't feeling that shit. They switched aisles. And that's what I told him. I said, and still, it doesn't matter who started it. It's who is the one that's keeping it alive. I said, I could start some shit today and leave it alone. But if someone says, I'm going to do it too, then who's blood? That guy's got to be culpable, because he's the one that won't let it die. I said, when you hear Republican Party, and not all Republicans are bad, just like not all Democrats are good. I said, but when you hear Republican Party, what is the one thing that's associated with them? Racism. That's a fact. It's a fact. Racism.
It's something that's what this one is all about. It's either about race or it's about gender. So I think that's why gender equality, pretty much your gender is what's on the ballot for the election, and then everything else falls under, which is kind of unfortunate. But I will say, even with that, we keep hearing about the Republicans and the Democrats. I wonder why they're so silent on the independent party. And I wonder,
I want to know too.
Which gave me another thought, like when Jay did mention like the newer teens that can vote, and I think the thing about that is the influence I think that social media has, because we see like the headlines, we see like snippets and things like that, but a lot a lot of the population of new voters aren't actually listening to the debates, aren't actually doing research on
Right.
the parties and things like that. So a lot of times it's what can grasp your attention. And right now, the polls are really mixed
Yeah.
and it's like sway. So it's like you just never know which way it's going to go. So I would just encourage everybody to just do your research before you go.
Mhm.
Really, really know and seek your which is thank you. I'm glad I said that. So because
You
it
said
let
what?
me think about what I wanted to say. So when it comes to policies, which I'm eager to hear what she's going to say,
Yeah.
because this is what I've been waiting to hear from her. So I believe between Friday and Saturday, she's supposed to go into her economic policy and some other things outside of
Mhm.
the abortion rights and all of those things. Like, okay, we clear on that. We pretty much know it is what it is with that, right?
Yeah.
So I just really want to hear her economic plan as far as Medicare, as far as um education, like student loans. I want to hear what she's going to do for the economy, how you want to
Yeah.
bring it up, you know,
Yeah.
the job market, things like that. So I think those are the things, especially in our community, we should focus on. Even though it's like I said last week, we know they're going to lie,
Yeah.
but be convincing, and we know things is going to has to take over time. And I agree, like when Drew said last week, we seen what he can do in office. You know, there was some pros, there was a lot of cons, there was some pros, we can say that. But we don't know what she's capable of doing because she was a very quiet VP,
Yeah. Very.
very quiet. So
Very.
it's like we don't know because we hardly heard from her. They really had her in the back seat. Whereas though when Biden was with Obama, it was we heard from him, we saw him, we saw at least we saw a personality that we
Yeah.
could relate to.
Yeah.
So now we're getting to relate to her. And unfortunately, a lot of things are coming out that's like contradictory with her statements,
Yeah.
questionable, but I just want to see what she has to say outside of
Hey.
banter, outside of
Hey. I'm dropping out, and I'm getting ready to punch right back in on my laptop because I got it set up.
okay, so I'm gonna read some comments while you do that.
All right. Won't take me but a second.
All right.
All right.
So I'm gonna just go to the comments while Bosco out. Okay. So hey y'all. All right. So we're gonna go back when J Bear said I think more women are going to vote at this election. Paul says, good evening, Queen Coco, King Bosco, King J Bear. And then Jay also said Hispanics too. Trump biggest fear is women and Hispanics and black teens that can vote. Um, and then Paul said those aren't red states, those are redneck states. Lamar, oh hey Lamar, I ain't see you over there. Lamar said, what up, what up? And Paul also said these Hispanics, quote unquote immigrants that are here already need to worry about Trump deporting. Oh shit! I'm just read it because that's just y'all show. Deporting their ass. That's going to be the bottom line. Um, Jabez said, "I believe it all will be a race war. It's not about blue and red. It's more about who will die to bring back slavery times." Then he also said, "I want to see what policy she, Mrs. Harris, because I can never pronounce her first name correctly, is going to bring to the table." I'm with you on that one. I'm really interested in seeing what she's going to say. Again, I would like to see her speak more on. I want her to leave the Trump banter out of it, and I really want to hear her voice and see what she says. Because right now, I feel like she's thriving off of what he says, and then she has like the comeback. So I want to kind of, I want her to elude that and really speak policies, her politic, what she plans to do or what she would like to see done, even if we know she's gonna lie a little here and there, this is and the third. But I just want to see what she's gonna say. Um, because he kind of does his thing, and but he does talk about the economy a lot. He talks about the job market, bringing jobs, and all of those things. So I want her to really get into her bag with that one. Um, what do I think about this other one? You said I believe it will be a race war. It's not about blue and red. It's more about who will die and bring back slavery times. Um, I agree and I disagree. Um, it's race has always been a thing, and I think they use that as a division for both parties. But I also think I don't think it's we slavery just been systematic or however you want to bring it. So let me think back. I had a conversation with Drew. We were just talking like the other day, and we were just talking about slavery. And the thing that people don't really talk about, can you let Bosco back in? Is when we talk about slavery times, we also got to take ownership because we taught them, like our ancestors back in the day, we were already enslaved in Africa. That was taught. They just took it and made it their own. They want us to think that they created the slavery thing, but that had always been a thing. When you see the what did they call them? People who were building their things, so they were slaves. So back then, but it's just a little bit different. But it's, again, we don't stand up, so it's whatever's gonna happen. Paul said, Trump said today that she waiting on him so she can copy. So I was watching a real thing. Rich, can you let Bosco in, please? Thank you. So don't nobody hear me. Bosco was talking to me in the chat. He said we don't like accountability. Rich, can you let Bosco in? He said if I posted a lot of what he said today, he was her. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me do this on the back end. Yeah, I saw that he was there. Bosco went into what he was doing as far as like, because he went to the rally, so he gave his insight on what he saw. Rich ain't on no damn break. Rich better like Bosco and see that's what it. See, I gotta do all this stuff on the thing. He can't be on break. Hold on, y'all. See why I gotta do this? Why do I gotta do this? See, this be the ghetto. Rich ain't on break, y'all. We gonna get him back on the phone. But Bosco pretty much was saying that, he always get into it with everybody. I told him he couldn't get locked up. I needed him to come up tonight and do what he had to do. What else? But I think she just has to do a policy because he's going to keep saying that she has to say something and rebuttal him because he wants people to think that he's the best supporter of all time, which is not true. Can you call him because he's not answering my phone? So I'm gonna try to keep going. We try and get Bosco back up. So right now he's in the chat. I guess Rich took a smoke break. I don't know. Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. Now he eating a chicken box. All right. So what other questions I got other than that? But I don't think she's waiting on him to copy him. I just don't think they had a plan. I think they kind of moved her into that seat. So because it was so much backlash from Biden. So I don't know. But he pretty much, I'm sorry. You back? No, look at that. Like now he ain't got no damn value. Hello?
Oh, my bad. I'm here.
The ghetto.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Now, I heard you and everything. I was trying to hit Rich up, but I guess he let me in.
No, I was trying to call. So
what I wanted to comment when you talking about slavery, and see, there's something Charleston White said. A lot of people don't like him, but he made some sense. Black people, we don't get offended by the lies. We get offended by the truth. And what I mean by that, and what he was saying about that, like you said about slavery. Okay, and I get a lot of help from this. No man on this planet can tell me that a bunch of white people just got off a boat in Africa and say, okay, we're taking these niggas. We were sold into slavery. Let's keep it 100. We were sold into slavery. They had slaves in Africa. Them white people came over, said, yo, y'all give us this, we'll give you all these niggas. Bottom line. Because can't nobody told me them guys just came over from England or wherever the hell they came from on a boat and just stumbled upon Africa like, oh shit, here's a land.
No, we gave them the blueprint of
We
slavery.
gave the blueprint, right? But see, what our people, and I'll be Stephen A. Smith right now, our people, we don't like accountability. We're not going to admit that we sold ourselves out because we still do it now through the music. For the bag. We'll do whatever. And whoever doesn't have the bag is broke. That's how we do. We use money against it. Like I said in my video a few days ago, we will sell ourselves out for the bag. Give this man the money, he will sell his mother to you. Let's keep it 100. But we don't want to be accountable for ourselves. We don't do it in our relationships. Like every man's going to say, oh, she was a bitch. She treated me wrong. Every woman going to say, oh, he was this, that, or that. We don't never admit what we did wrong. That's how we do. So, and with Kamala, you know, whatever.
Mrs. Harris. Because we were jacking that lady name up.
You know, yeah, I know about her past and what she's done. I know. And I'm not defending her. I'm really not. But the way I look at it, any prosecutor, I don't care if they're black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Arab, green, Martian, I don't care what they are. You know what they're going to do? They're going to try to lock your ass up, even if you look innocent. Their job is to put you away. Now, did she put some people away who maybe shouldn't be put away? Probably so.
Well, she was running for something. I forgot what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a little snippet of something. I forgot what it was.
Mm-hmm.
She had an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked her, okay, she was talking big shit, and they was like, okay, so what are you going to do for the African American community? Now, this was in her own voice and her own words.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I ain't doing nothing for the black community. She was more so making policies for like Indians, you know, other brown people.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she would not design anything that was specifically geared toward Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And I think statements like that is what caused people to be turned off by her, because now she's speaking in a different tongue almost. So that's my biggest disappointment. I wish certain things she would have never said. And I think at that time that was where it was geared. And I get it. And that those were the big propagandas at that time, right? So now she knows she needs this particular vote. So now she wants it to be this big mountain pot. Do I blame her for saying that? No, I think she's playing the game like they all do. You know what? Truthfully, so I think now it's a more so we have to make an informed decision, because let's just call it about. We get the cause that we're dealt. We always say we can't vote for these people, but we are also not speaking up so that people can be a voice. And I think we kind of touched on, but didn't really go into like generational leadership. We really don't have one. Leadership for us as a community. So we gotta deal with the cards that we're dealt, and unfortunately, we're dealt this hand. So now we have to make an informed decision of what we're gonna vote for. And unfortunately, truthfully, I'm just speak for the people that I come in contact with, and you know, different things that I've seen. It's mixed, but there are a lot of us, even despite his following and things that he said, are leaning towards Trump, because they saw that they could make money under his leadership. People saw that they could, you know, buy more homes or invest more. The market wasn't crashing like that, you know. And even during COVID, he still wasn't trying to shut down businesses. So, but then we seen one, and she, unfortunately, like I said, she was tied to someone who during his term, he suffered a lot economically. So she got to come with a really strong economic policy. I think that's going to be her money bag, is if she has a great economic policy, even if some bullshit. She got to come hard when it comes to finance, Medicare.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yes, do the women's rights, do all of the equality things, but right now, with cost of living being the way that it is, and pretty much people just working really to everybody in survival mode. Because did you watch the Elon Musk and Trump interview?
Yeah.
And did you hear when he said, "Are you making money now, Elon?"
Yeah.
And Elon was like, "Well, I made more when you were." So it's like when rich people gotta work to keep getting their money to come in, they gonna want who in there so because they don't want to work as hard to get their money.
You know what? Speaking of the thing Kamala said about I'm not doing something specific, I could see her point. However, if you're gonna say I'm not gonna do something specifically for black people, then you don't need to name another nationality and say who you're gonna do for.
Right.
She should have been like, I can't put something in specifically for black people because da 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 da, but I'm gonna put something in there it's gonna help everyone.
Right.
That's what you got to do. When she said what she said, I was like, maybe you shouldn't have said that. You know,
right.
you should have said that because then now you're saying basically I ain't doing shit for black people. That's the way people gonna take it. I ain't doing shit for black people, and we don't know if that's how she meant it, but that's the way it came off. Like with Obama, and I mean, he was saying, "Oh, Obama ain't do shit. He ain't do nothing for black people." Yes, he did. The problem is you niggas didn't pay attention. Y'all spent 8 years waiting for him to write something that said, this is for black people. Y'all spent 8 years. I told so many people, all you have to do is go to the White House wall and see the bills he was signing. So but see, you know what the problem with our people? And I don't care if they call me Uncle Ruckus or whatever. I keep it 100. You know what's wrong with our people? We don't research. We'll spend more time reading freaking memes and shit on Facebook rather than using the same figures that we type responses and type a URL in and say, okay, here's the White House wall. Even with Trump, I wasn't a fan of Trump. I can't stand Trump. But you know what? I paid attention to the stuff he signed because a broken clock is right twice a day. And he did some shit for us when it comes to music, how to take control of our music. And these dumbass rappers who said, Trump was a dickhead, but he did look out people who make money with the music, but nobody paid attention. Just like with Obama, nobody, the dumbest people, and I'm gonna say it, I don't care if they're black, white, and shit. The dumbest people around are the people who don't research. They don't research. If you got something to say, I'm like, look, go here and check it out for yourself. Why I need to do that? You just told me you don't care. And with our people, and I'm talking just about black, I don't know, white people. I'm not white. There's nothing on me white except for my thing, my eyes. That's it.
And your head, come on, cool this. I told you like cool this from the House of Dragon.
In my head, yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And but we don't want to read, we don't want to research, we don't want to do none of that. And we don't want to take accountability. We don't want to say, oh, we screwed up. No. And I don't know, man. It's like myself, after going to that rally and see what goes on and just, dripping through that book and seeing my project 2025, I can't vote for him. I want a third party. I really do. I want a third party candidate to pop up. I don't know who it's going to be, but that's what I want.
Where they at?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I need a third party because I don't want to be in a situation where I have no choice but vote for this person because both candidates suck. But I don't want to waste it not voting. Our ancestors freaking gave their blood so we can vote. So I'm not going to squander that opportunity to not vote. Maybe it'll do something. Maybe it won't. But you know it won't if you don't vote.
There is no third party candidate.
I know. I wish one would pop up out of nowhere. But I'm running for the third party. And see, that's the sad part. There's no third party candidate.
This is the first time.
As far as I can remember. As far as I can remember, it's either people going left or they're going right. There's no third party. It's a shame, man. I mean,
that's a little shady. I feel like that's a setup.
I
Because
think
I
so
feel
too.
like if there was an independent party, they would definitely have a strong
Yeah,
footing.
they throw monkey wrench in
Because
both
so
of the both
many people
sides.
are mixy. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like you're forced to let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got two questions. I'm gonna since we're already on this topic, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to see? Or what are you hoping that she speaks on as far as a policy? Because I'm like, girl, give me something great.
What do I want? There's a lot of stuff, but the main thing I would want is to fix our economic problems. We are paying too much for little shit. We are paying too much for the littlest of shit. We're not making money, but we're paying astronomical prices for shit that it's a shame a gallon of milk costs as much as a freaking gallon of gas. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, but that would be the main thing. But the one thing I like her to do, to be honest with you, considering she was so-called as prosecutor, is overhaul the justice system. To overhaul the justice system. Because like people who got busted for weed, they need to be out. They need to be out. They need to be
Oh,
out.
just a revision of the laws.
Yeah,
So do you
they
think
need to
that's
be out.
why it's something going on with the Supreme Court now? They're trying to do something
Mm-hmm.
judicially
Yeah.
with the Supreme Court. I'm not going to speak too much on it because I ain't going to lie to you. I don't know much about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Okay, my next question for you would be, so something that came up in a recent conversation was voting. So, a lot of people says the vote doesn't count. We vote for nothing, or all the things that's said, and everybody gets all in arm's length over these debates and all of this stuff, like it's going to matter when
Mm-hmm.
the president is already known and who's going to be assigned.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
I don't believe that. I mean, if it's true, I mean, I could see why someone would believe that. Just with me, I don't believe that. I think I think they should do away with the electoral college.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should just go by the popular vote. The majority wins. I don't like the electoral college because we seen in the 2000 election with Bush and Gore. Was it Bush and Gore? Yeah, or Bush and Kerry, one of them. I can't remember who it was. It's been so long ago. What the Democrat won the popular vote, but Bush won the electoral college, and I think I know they did it because they say some places have more people. Look, it don't matter if this country has 350 million people in it. And it don't
Mm-hmm.
matter if 300 million was in New York City. It don't matter. You still got 350 million people. And if 350 million people vote, a portion that's going to be Republican, a portion that's going to be Democrat.
Right.
The majority should win. Why is it in anything in life, majority rules? But when it comes to the presidency, it doesn't. I don't like the electoral college. If you want
I'm
your
gonna tell
man
on
in there,
myself.
huh?
I'm gonna tell on myself. I remember when I first voted, my grandmother took me.
Hmm?
I forgot who. I can't even remember. Look, y'all know my vitamin D. I forgot who was. I don't think it was Reagan.
Hmm?
Was it?
Oh, you must have been. You was a kid during Reagan.
No, it wasn't Reagan. Who was after him? Who got that? Who got that penis stop? Clinton.
Nah, Bush one was after Reagan.
No, but what was that? What year was Clinton? I think it was Clinton.
Clinton was 92 to 92 to 2000 because he did 2 terms.
Okay, So I think it was his second term.
Okay.
And I think I voted for him. But I'm gonna be fully transparent. But when you know how everything else is on the ballot,
yeah,
they have questions and they have your Senate and they have your because people don't understand that shit be on there too. And then they also have your state stuff. I didn't know none of them people. I was doing any, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh,
So I ain't gonna lie because I didn't know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
all I knew was my grandmother was like, "You gotta vote, right?" So I was like, "Okay." So that was before my time, Paul. It was in. I remember it was the one who got his penis sucked. It was Clinton.
That was Clinton. Yeah.
So
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Yes, she did.
right, but I did not understand everything else that was on the ballot. So I was literally like, "Oh, this name sound cool. That one," not knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right. So when I told her, she's like, "You did what? You ain't supposed to vote for that." I said, "Well, that's who the fuck is in there now. It's in there." So that's when she started making me like political stuff to know who's who, what's what. She said, "I can't tell you who to vote for. That's you have to make your mind up, but you have to understand who it is that you're selecting." And this and the third. So I know we get focused on this. So, like you said, when it comes to electoral votes and all of those stuff, we don't think about Congress, the Senate, because we actually do still got to put these people in them seats.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I think it's a wider spectrum when it comes to voting that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
And I know we mention it and we say like your local governments and all of that stuff is like important, and it is because it all has a trickle effect. So it's like you got to kind of do your homework and know who you're voting for on a spectrum. And I think they focus on that so that the other people can kind of slide in.
Yeah.
And then it's like certain questions and certain things when it comes to like, and we all know abortion gonna be on there. We all know something about gender gonna be on there. We all all of these things it's gonna be on there. You have to put your thing in. So I can understand why some people think the way that they think about voting. But then I also see, I think I said I was blessed to see the other side of, like I said, like my grandmother, my aunts, and my uncles, people who lived during the times where they didn't have certain opportunities to be able to cast a vote or to have their voices heard. They had to accept what it was. And I think so. Like when J-Bad made the comment about slavery and things like that, but we have a slavery mentality because that mentality is what's going to set us back to that. So I think we got to take advantage, and that's why I said it's not that, but we got to understand the people who were before us that really put their lives on the line, so that even if that's the case, that we can just go on there, and I think we owe them that much.
And see that's my thing about it. A lot of our people, and I'm keeping 100. A lot of our people talk about how this person is selling out and this person that is, and I'm like, well, okay, what are you doing in terms of voting or whatever? Because if you talk about our ancestors, I mean, they're not you, I'm just about how some of these people talk. Like if this person talking about how our ancestors will be upset if we didn't do this and didn't do that, I'm like, okay, then why aren't you voting? Our ancestors, got their asses whooped for freaking reading. Now we're in the age right now where anything we need to know, of course you got to weed it out, but anything you need to know is at our fingertips. When we came up, we had to go to the library. We go and research. We had to literally sit there and watch the news. Even with school, if we want to do world events, current events, we had to come home, watch the news, and actually wait for something to come on and say, okay, let me write about this. And if you missed the news, you had to catch it again. To where now everything's there. And it's sad because, and I'm not talking about, and I'm not going to sit there and say that, do like, well, what about white people? We're not talking about them. We're talking about us. We won't take the time to research anything. Nothing. We're so set in our minds. I'm like, it really angers me, man. Because I'm like, I don't know.
I
It's
think
just
some people just really that's like the boring thing for a lot of us. And I think some people don't want to have to think about that. And I get
yeah,
it. You know what I mean? And I and
yeah,
I, I get it and I understand it. And then sometimes it's also, I don't want to say ignorance. I would say if you don't know or understand, then that's gonna be, you know, how you feel.
yeah,
And I never negate what someone feels or how someone thinks, but I think like platforms like this and shows like this is something to even just let people know there's information out there and that it's okay to not know, but even still, don't just focus on this one area when there's so many other areas. And if you allow your voice to be silenced, then that's what it's going to do. So,
yeah,
like I always tell everybody, like confrontation and all of those things, people look at confrontation and it has a negative attachment to it. Confrontation is not negative, but
right,
being able to speak up and address a issue maturely, it doesn't always have to be violently, but you should don't let some not voting, and let me take voting out of it.
yeah,
Not speaking up and just allowing anything to happen and accepting what's given to you, even if you don't agree with it. Like we can talk amongst each other and
mhm,
complain, but if you don't state your opinion and state your voice to who you want, like for instance, let's take Paul. Great,
mhm,
Paul, great on the show. Paul has a voice.
yep,
Paul will have his voice heard, and I admire that. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
so people will look at him like, "Oh, you're doing too much. It's always this, and then a third." But just imagine if there were more of us like that,
Strength in
what
numbers,
could get accomplished.
strength in numbers. And see, that's what angers me. And salute to Paul because I wish I can get out there with him, but I just work so damn much. But salute to Paul because even at his age, he's out there doing his thing. And people may say he's doing too much. Paul's just emotional about it. That's just emotion. I
Passionate.
mean, so I
I don't
can't. I
like
can't.
emotional. Let's take that out of it. Let's from
No, no, no. When I say
people just
emotional,
want to
when I say emotional, I don't mean it
passion.
in the
No,
negative.
no,
I
no.
mean he's
Because
more like
people,
he's
yeah,
passionate about it. That's what I say.
and then people look at emotional as a weakness when we
Yeah,
attack,
I thought he's
especially to our
passionate.
men.
He's
So
passionate about
I
it.
want
That's
to
what
say
that's what
passionate and dedicated. Yeah.
yeah, passionate about that. That's what I'm looking for. Passionate about it. And you can't get mad at someone who's passionate about it. Like when I went up there today to the Trump rally, I was like, man, me and this other white dude is the one raising the roof. You see nobody up there, but behind closed doors, I hear black people. Oh man, forget Trump. Who was you at today then? But who was you at? Even the Black Lives Matter march, we had a lot of black people there. Paul was there. That's where we finally met. Like, damn, when I was on that bridge getting hit with the damn smoke, I was like, man, where all niggas at?
They left you to try.
I'm looking
I don't
back
like
like
that part.
it's like a whole bunch of white people behind me, like, yeah, 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 it's just yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah, where my niggas at? Like, I ain't.
They fucked you up that day too.
We ain't screaming it. They were all about it until we got to the bridge. I said, let's go down the bridge. And he was like, I ain't going down the bridge. I'm like,
Hold on, I got plugged in. My battery getting low. Hold on, keep it
yeah,
going. Keep going. Keep going.
huh?
Keep
Oh,
going.
yeah. So, but shout out to the ones who were down. I'm not gonna front. There was some brothers and sisters down there that was they did their thing. And like I said, Paul, he was up there, and it was hot. It was hot that day. And he was out there, you know, doing his thing. So he was working security. So hey, but we need to start being more aware about about what's actually going on because you say what?
I dropped something. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
we need to be more aware about what's going on because it's like with Facebook, a lot of my friends ask me why don't I ever say stuff like they do. I said, look, we could sit on Facebook all day and talk about shit that we already been talking about. Or we can get on Facebook and talk about stuff we need to do and big up those who are doing it. I said, I don't talk about slavery on Facebook because we beaten the dead. We already know what happened. It's those who don't want to accept the facts of the whole thing. Like we already know that. Why don't we talk about some of the great men and women? Marcus Garvey, for one. Some people do. Shout out to my man James McCann. Always putting it out there. You know, Angela Davis. Rosa Parks. Why are we not? And see, that's the problem. We're so stuck we act like
And my titties lopsided. I'm sorry.
we act, huh? You said what? I heard a pop. So I think that never mind.
Oh, I knew I'm clumsy. That
No,
was
I was talking
my
about a second
dream.
ago.
They die.
I was talking about a second ago when you was like, never mind. But anyway,
They got a little
so
discombobulated.
the thing
Oh,
with
I knew. I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
yeah,
Before I forget,
huh?
it was something. Okay? So there's something that's being mentioned. I don't think people paying attention to
Mm.
fracking,
Who?
digging.
Yeah, oh yeah, frack. Oh, frack is big here.
So that's one of Trump things. He wants to do more digging here.
Yeah.
Did you hear why?
No, I didn't hear them.
Okay. So I've heard him talk about it, and it was like bits and pieces here and there. See, what he does is he mentions a lot in between his banter,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to catch it.
Yeah.
So he was like, "We're gonna dig. We're going." I'm like, "Dig? What the fuck is he talking about?" So then when he said fracking, I said, "Oh, so part of fracking is oil." He said, "We have
Mm-hmm.
a lot." He said, "We have a lot of resources here
Mm-hmm.
that we don't do," which makes
Mm-hmm.
sense why Elon is in that much, but is buying up all of this farmland and all of this
Mm-hmm.
other stuff, right? What is it, Elon? What's the not Elon? What's his name?
Gates.
Gates and all them. They're buying up a lot of land
Yeah.
because they want to dig. So then he mentioned the underground infrastructure that they already started in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost done. So he was saying, so Trump was like, yeah, we should expand that all over across the US. So they want to have an underground community
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure all over the United States. And I think from what G was telling me, I don't know much about it. She was telling me it's mainly for like Teslas,
Yeah.
but they want to do more. But anyway, back to the fracking. I was like, oh, so they ready to start digging and tearing up and tearing up. So with fracking comes erosion
He wrote. Yep.
and everything like that. So there's also a bigger picture.
Yep.
So where you going to frack it, and then you're going to tear up other towns. So a lot of people, if your properties are on certain land that has the resources that they want, what does that mean?
I don't trust him on that. That's not for us. And
I
when I
don't.
mean, yeah, I don't. When I say for us, I don't mean just black people. I
Mm-mm.
mean us regular people,
Yep.
middle class, lower class. That's not for us. I don't trust them. I
Mm-mm.
don't, cause see, they talking about how, and this might be a little far fetched, but they talking about like going to Mars and doing all this. You know what's gonna wind up happening one day?
That's why them astronauts are already stuck in space
That's
and they
probably
can't
stuck up
get
in
back.
damn space. Can't even get home. Everything is gonna be electronic, electrical cars. They already got it's like they want to get rid of that. I remember a few years ago they want to get rid of pennies. They want to get rid of paper money. Everything they're gonna wind up having uh
Well, the
facial
chip is
recognition
real. Remember
everywhere.
they was talking about the chip was a myth?
Yeah, facial
That's
recognition everywhere.
actually real.
Yeah, but you know
It,
something about that?
it's been approved by
You
the
know something about
FDA.
you know something about that? And I hope my brother Dwelle gets on here. My brother Mike, rest in peace, he passed away in '96. Back in 1984, he was saying that he said one day they're gonna put chips in us, man. He said that back in '84.
Mm-hmm.
He said they're gonna we're not gonna know it, but they're gonna put chips in us. He said this that's 40 years ago. He said this. And here we are, 2024. Like I hope my brother comes on here because he talked about electrical car. My brother, as wild as crazy he was, a lot of stuff is happening now. He was saying this back in 84, 85, 86.
Well, the Jacksons told us that
And the
about,
yes.
yeah. So we knew
And
that from the Jacksons.
I don't
Jacksons
trust them with
and
this underground stuff because you know the way I see the underground thing is the way I see the Titanic. The rich people the rich people had the nice rooms on the top upper floors while the real poor people had the rooms basically in the hull of the boat.
mm-hmm.
And when the thing started sinking, they locked it to where
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't get out. And they got all the rich people off, we call women and children first. But all those people who were down in the bottom, died because they locked it. Some did get out, but most of them died. And that's how I see the underground thing. They are not building that. And see, this is what I wish these Trump supporters would realize. The shit that they're doing is not for you. If you don't have the right amount of money or the bag, if you don't have the right amount of money, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. You're just like us, just like the independent me, just like the liberal, whoever. You're one of us. You're not getting in there. That your wallet is going to get you in. And if you're not making a certain amount of money and you can't bring nothing to the table, and this might sound like conspiracy, and I'm far from conspiracy theories, but just look at how things have been going over the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And people just don't get it. And our people, it angers me because we spend more. Our people act like our existence began at slavery. It's like, dude, we had a.
Paul said you're gonna be fracked out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people think our history began in slavery, and I say, look, those weren't the slaves they got from Africa. They were Africans who made slaves. We spend more time in the past. That's why shit is going past us. Because we spend more time in shit that already happened, that we already know about it. We keep talking about it 24/7, 365, 66. We keep talking about it while everything else is going by. That's why we're at the bottom of the totem pole. It used to be white people. Then we became white people, Mexicans, white people, Asians, white people, Ukrainians, white people. That they kept going down, dogs. And then black people were animals. Then us. How did we get there? Because we let the boat go by. Like with the Mexicans. I'm not mad at the Mexicans coming here and making money. Because if I can get over here and make my money, okay, so I can't be mad at them. It's the system. But what black people, our people like to say, they're taking our jobs. No, they're taking jobs that y'all black ass don't want to do.
So what's the black job?
That I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that shit out.
I saw. Okay, so I did see something.
Somebody told me, but I forgot.
No, and wording is everything. Like I said, and we've talked about this delivery, perception, and everything. How you put it out and how people receive it. Most essential workers are black and brown. Yeah. So primarily, those are the essential jobs. So what they're saying is when you have more people, if you can hire people to work for less, which are undocumented because they just want to make a way, get paid under the table, which a lot of companies are doing.
Oh yeah.
And get paid under the table, they will let go. And I've seen this happen. They will do a mass layoff and bring in a large group of undocumented because you can now double up for the same cost or less.
Yeah, but see, that's what I mean.
And have more work productivity. But it's the essential jobs. But I also think, like I said, how it was said was offensive. I'm not saying don't be upset about it. And I wouldn't blame that, but it's like even with that anger and what it was projected. Actually internalize and think about that. So sometimes we also got to think, and again, which helps make informed decisions of one, who you're voting for, what's going on, and your voice is being heard. Again, we talk amongst ourselves. We silently complain. When I say silently complain, we push this anger off onto each other.
Yeah.
We tear each other apart and we tear our communities apart instead of, being uplifting and unified. But we won't keep that same energy. So yeah, we were outraged, but the way it's gonna go was that because you still gotta make a choice. And then there's a lot of us that don't rock what come. So some people, like, you got the people that's like, I ain't voting, I ain't doing nothing, it ain't gonna matter. Then you got them going this way, that way. But Paul said the independent is Kennedy and who else you said? Cornel West. That's what
yeah, I forgot about Cornel West and
So before we get into your topic, because I know you said something. Before we get into that, how do you feel about the nuclear ship that was sent to Israel?
I'm not down with anything sent to Israel. Period. Fuck Israel. That's how I feel.
Did you know why that ship was sent? Allegedly,
Why's that?
to make a statement for
Oh,
everyone else to back off and leave them alone. So your only plot was to send nuclear weapons.
fuck Israel.
You want to elaborate? Like what?
Fuck Israel. That's how I feel. Fuck Israel. They ain't done shit for us, but act like welfare cases.
Yeah, so we still sending money to Ukraine.
Yep.
And we're sending money, weapons, multiple Ukraine and Israel.
Mm-hmm.
How do you so we have war pretty much. So we didn't got in it. So what do you think this means? Or how do you think this will influence the upcoming election? Because your boy said if he was in office, none of this would be happening.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that because he has an undying support for Israel. He said that himself. So I don't believe that. With the Ukraine, he may not have sent the stuff to Ukraine, but he the damn sure sent that shit to Russia.
Oh yeah.
So what's the difference? I mean, I don't give a shit about Ukraine either. I mean, because the way they did the black people and all that stuff, I don't give a shit about Ukraine.
Right.
But either way, he'd have sent money to Russia because Putin was already in his pockets. He'd have done whatever he can for Israel because he always said he got a support for Israel no matter. He don't even like the Middle East. He made that clear. He don't give a shit about. So it wouldn't have been much of a difference. He just sent the money. Nah. The reason being,
this is like the second time in a month, and I think I'm gonna say in like 45 days that we've sent nuclear weapons to another country.
You know what?
But when they do it, we be pissed off. So if we do it, what do you think? And certain ones is itching for us to do that anyway.
You know what? Our government ain't shit. Period. We ain't shit. You know why? We trained Osama bin Laden. We did all that shit. All these people we bombed and beat the shit out of, we trained all of them. We gave money, we gave weapons to the Contras. But then again, everybody wanted to bash freaking Jimmy Carter because he said, look, we traded arms with them. Nothing against Brittany Griner. But
let's talk about her. Did you see the I'm sorry. Damn.
Nah.
That was real random.
Yeah, but with her, we're gonna talk about it, but with her, and nothing against Brittany Griner, he alright. But
did you wait a minute, what?
What?
What you
he alright. He alright.
Oh.
Brittany Griner. He alright. Anyway.
She don't identify.
He alright.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to laugh.
He alright. Anyway, me myself, okay. We traded her from a with the guy, the freaking weapons dealer, and I'm like, we didn't get an even trade out of this shit. We didn't get an even trade. We gave his ass up for
Can
him.
You stop?
What? I'm saying, it wasn't an even trade, man. And it's nothing against Griner. It really is nothing against Griner, but shit wasn't fair. We could have got more. There's a dude over there, military dude who's over there, who did the same shit the guy did that we gave up. We were like, why don't you give up? We'll give you the arms here. You give up him and the dude that's the military guy.
Are those her pronouns?
I don't know. Nigga say he a dad, so I don't know. He say he a dad. I mean, if he say he a dad. So anyway, I don't trust our government. Like I said, Hey, I don't care. Yo, you anti-American, bitch. I did 10 years. Shut the hell up. Oh, I don't care what they said. We, the same guys that we be bombing and shit, we train.
Hold up. Don't bypass her. I'm not doing this with you. So
What?
let's backtrack to her, Brittany.
All right.
So the backlash that she was catching from, I think she kneeled or something, and it was, I forgot who it was. I think it was another person, probably a Republican, was like, how disrespectful can you be? You talking about you gonna kneel, but you can't stand for the, what is it? The
But see that? Okay, let me say something about that.
what is it called?
Actually, that
The
was a
national
lie.
anthem for the same country that bailed your ass out. They should send you back or
But
something.
you know what?
Something they
Yeah,
said it was
but think
real
about
rude
it.
and disrespectful.
Think about it. That was a lie. What they said she said. He didn't say that. Brittany Griner didn't say that. That was a lie. Cause Brittany Griner was like, I'm not gonna go play for nobody but the USA. Da 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 da. He ain't never say nothing about I'm kneeling. He didn't. That was made up.
Oh, they tried to say she did. Stop
No.
calling her she.
Just the opposite. Just the opposite. And I'm not a Brittany Griner fan. I'm really not. But he ain't say that. He ain't say that. Nah, he ain't say that. What? You laughing at? What are you laughing at? I'm just saying, he ain't say that.
She.
What
I
up,
don't think she identifies as no man.
That nigga said, he's a dad, he's a stepfather, or whatever, a papa, or whatever.
No, she didn't.
Yes, he did.
She did?
Yeah. Like 2 weeks ago. And then you go look up the interview. He said it. Like, how does it feel to be a mom? He said, I'm a papa. For real. He said that. Look it up on your phone right now. And if I'm lying, if I'm lying, I'll have my sister dress me up as a woman and come on the next show with the hair, the lipstick, and the eyebrows and everything. He said that. He said that. Hey, you know, I ain't dressing like no woman for nothing. So I ain't gonna put that out there. Because I know I got this one right. He said that.
She.
Huh?
She.
That nigga said it. I'm a papa. I'm a papa or daddy or something like that. Something along them lines. Yeah, look it up. It's a video. If you don't see the video, you'll see the interview. Yeah. Yes, he did.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I told you I wasn't lying.
But no, this is the headline though. The headline says Brittany Griner is now quote unquote pops to her first. Oh,
I told you I wasn't lying.
Let me see.
Look, I talk a lot of shit all day long. But you know, I keep it 100. I'm not gonna sit there and just make shit up and put it out there. I'll do that.
I'm trying to see what her pronouns are.
I don't know. He ain't got no pronouns, but that nigga do. He's a female, but I don't know. Look here. Anyway, get back.
Okay, so she is they.
Who?
Wait a minute.
Who's they?
She is we. They.
Who are we?
She's a them. She's
who's
a
with,
them.
Who's with them?
The he is really them.
Who was he? Who was with them? Who? What? Brittany and his wife?
No. He ain't a he. He is them. He's them. They is we. They.
Oh, this is some damn rush hour shit, right? I am him. Who? No, I am me. No, who are you? I am me. He is you.
No, he is not a he or she. He and she is they.
We're just gonna call it. We're just gonna make it non-binary. That nigga.
That's non-binary. Them.
That's non-binary. And if you're from the LGBTQ community, I ain't trying to diss you. I ain't transform. I'm just saying. I don't know if he's a he, they, them, who's on first. That nigga. Period.
Yeah, it's like.
I told you him.
It's like dumb.
Damn.
Dumb and they is.
So
dumb.
that means if they come fight me, I can beat them down. But like, yo, they jumped me.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the
so
correct.
Who's they?
They.
Them. Yeah. Who's they? Them. Right there. Who? Them. There's only one person. Yeah, them.
Them. Yes. That's what them said.
Listen, man. LGBTQ community. I love y'all. For real. I talk a lot of shit about y'all. But y'all gotta cut this shit out, man. I'm they, I'm them. Y'all gotta cut that shit out. I ain't calling you them. I'm not calling you them. First y'all said, call me a she or call me a he. Now you're like, call me them. Nah, nigga, y'all ain't them. Them is plural. Multiple dudes.
Because it's because they non-binary.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Okay, so
I know you're right what you're saying, but I'm calling bullshit because you know why? When we stand side by side and they say strip, one of us slinging, the other one's not. Period. When you die, like Matt Walsh said, when you die, and 100 years from now they find your bum ass buried in the damn park or somewhere where they unearthed the shit to put another building there, they like, man, who killed this nigga? They like, that ain't them. That's him, that's her. I don't believe in that non-binary shit. Because if you bleed, you're female. If you don't, and your shit gets like a roll of quarters, you're a dude. Check the pelvic bone. I ain't going for that shit. I don't believe in non-binary. I don't believe in that. Call me what you want. I will call you what you want me to address you as.
I'm invisible.
But I damn sure not gonna call you them. Who did it? They did it.
And that would be appropriate for them.
Okay. So when I'm fighting, I'm like, look, I felt threatened by them.
And that would be appropriate.
Dumb niggas
if they are non-binary.
They be like, you crazy. They be like, you crazy, Mr. Salam. It's only one person. Not them.
No, then you would say that is their pronouns. They.
Fuck them pronouns. You can't take the freaking alphabet and claim every letter for yourself. They'd be like, I'm taking the damn pronouns too. Hell no. Nah. If that's the case, you know what I'll be addressed as? Super nigga always. Or super negro.
What?
Who are you? I'm a super negro. Call me Ringo. My name from this day on, my name is Ringo Mandingo.
And with that said, that is your thoughts. Me personally.
Nah, look, I'm just clowning y'all. I'm just clowning. I don't know what they can take me serious. I'm just clowning y'all. I'm just joking.
I'm gonna say they and them. So they, them, and us. I respect it. So
hold on, let's see Paul, man. I know someone that believes that has a roller coaster. Paul, it's time to go to bed. It's time to go to bed, man. Okay. Whatever medication they gave you after your procedure, take your medication, go to bed.
Okay. What is your topic, sir? What is your topic?
What's my who?
What's your topic? You're gonna introduce your topic. We gonna get up off of them.
What's my topic?
Politics and religion.
Yeah. They shouldn't be together, but they are.
Why?
I've read the Bible from cover to cover, and I never seen a Republican or a Democrat in there. If anything, if you speak about the story of Jesus, if you want to classify him, you would classify him as a liberal. To be honest with you, but there's no Democrats, no Republicans in the Bible. As for religion, or faiths or whatever, they were around long before Republican and Democrat came around. And you can't base your decisions, your political decisions, using a religious platform. For the fact being, you have Jews or Hebrews, you have Christians, you have Muslims, you have Taoists, you have Buddhists, you have Hindus, you have atheists. So if you're gonna use politics and put your stamp on something based on your religion, then you're gonna alienate others. Mm-hmm. Like if you say prayer in school, okay, atheists don't believe in God, so they don't pray. But you're gonna force them to pray, or alienate them and make them feel less than low because they refuse to pray in a classroom. The children are just like the other way around. If you have prayer in school, are you going to allow a Muslim child to pull out his rug and do his complete prayer? Because it takes a little while. Huh?
They're supposed to.
Yeah, but see, I've seen it when I had converted to Islam. When I was at a shelter, it was me and another Muslim brother. We did our prayer together because we did certain hours of the day, and they made a big deal out of it. They gave us a hard time, and even with the Jews that were there, they prayed with us, but we had issues with the Christians. Why are you doing this in our chapel? We're like, well, it's a chapel. Mm-hmm. We didn't think you had to be a certain denomination to pray in the house of God. Well, it's a chapel for Christians. I didn't know.
Where was this?
Huh?
Where was this? I'm sorry, I missed it.
This is when I was homeless. I was at the shelter. We went to a chapel to do our prayer because we felt that's the place where we can find peace. Even the Hebrew guys that were there, they prayed with us. Mm-hmm. But we all had issues. You can't do that here. You see that cross? I'm like, well, you're not supposed to have that cross sitting up there in the first place. It's not supposed to be there. And but you can't mix the two together because like people call America a Christian nation, but if you listen to the so-called forefathers, they said this ain't no Christian nation. It wasn't built on Christian principles. If it was, things wouldn't be the way they are if you go by traditional Christian principles. So you can't put politics and religion together to make decisions because you have too many different types. You have Republican, you have Democrat, you have those who are independent. You got all these parties, Tea Party, you got all these parties, and you got all these different faiths. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna say prayer in school, an atheist who doesn't believe in God should be able to do whatever he want to do elsewhere without him being or her being alienated or treated like shit because they don't believe in God. A Jew or Hebrew has his way of praying or her way of praying. You have to give them their spot. Muslims need to have their spot without feeling like, okay, I got to do it this way. Hindus, everyone, if you're going to do prayer in school, let everybody do it their way and respect them. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Because with Jews, I can't speak for Christians, but with Jews and Hebrews and Muslims, they wash their hands, their arms up to their elbows, and their feet, and they rinse out their mouths, which is in the Bible, actually.
Well, I think I think now they do have, from what I've seen, they do create spaces because I'm just I don't know about all. I can't speak for all. I'm not so I'm not going to sit there and say. I'm going to say from personally what I've seen. I have seen where, and especially educational environments.
But look where you stay. You're in Maryland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I can only speak for like certain things, like with certain laws, I guess, passed when it comes to and I guess that's a part of the whole diversity thing and inclusion and all of that stuff. They have to create a space that's comfortable. The same way with like breastfeeding and all of that stuff. You have to allow that if that's the religion. That's the same thing with like headgear or certain things like that, unless you're in like a Catholic school. Of course, you gotta abide by their the Catholic rules and things like that. But when it comes to like public and all of those things, they do have spaces. and where they have to allow that. And I don't think that don't quote me on it, but I don't think they're forced anymore to like do the pledge. I don't even know if they still do that shit in school. Do they still do it in school?
What's that?
The Pledge of Allegiance.
I don't know.
I think once it started to become more diverse, I think that came out because a lot of people was like, oh, I think that's when the laws started to change as far as like religious beliefs.
But see, also with the Pledge of Allegiance, and this is nothing against the Pledge of Allegiance, but if you read the Bible, you're not even supposed to salute the flag. You're not supposed to.
I missed
It's
that
in
part.
there. Yeah, look in the book of Exodus. You're not supposed to salute no man or anything. Because the flag would be seen as an idol. You're not supposed to salute or bow to it. You're not supposed to. Like in Islam, if you go to any mosque, you won't see any pictures of any historical person. In the Bible, you're not supposed to do that. Paul said that. You're not supposed to have any images. Paul said that. You're not supposed to have any images. That's what I see people walking around the cross. You're not supposed to be walking around with that. It's in the book of Exodus. You're not supposed to do that. Paul says that. You're not pictures of Paul and
Paul
pictures
in the
of
Bible
Jesus.
or Paul?
No, Paul in the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah. People don't read it. You're not supposed to wear the cross. You're not supposed to have images of Jesus and Paul and John. You're not supposed. It's in the Bible. It's in the book of Exodus.
Why is that? Explain that to me. I'm just curious. Can you explain?
It's seen as graven. It's like graven images. The flag. It says in the book of Hebrews, you're not to salute no man either. It's in there. People don't read it.
Paul said they made voodoo in Exodus.
Voodoo is prayer. It's when you wash your hands. It's voodoo. It's
my God, I can night. Thank you.
Yeah, it's voodoo. And people don't read. Like I said, I'm not a Christian, but I'm not a Muslim anymore. But I still follow traditions. But however, it'll be a true. You have to accept the Bible in its earliest form to be a true Muslim. They don't disregard the Bible. It's in there. Graven images. You're not supposed to wear
crosses,
either. Huh?
So preachers can't wear crosses.
You're not supposed to. No, you're not supposed to. In the church. You're not supposed to wear that. Those are adornments. It's in there. It's adornments. It's just like
that. Why? Okay, so
that's why when he moved all those idols that was laid, he moved all that shit. You're not supposed. No, you're not supposed to.
Is that why some churches took down the picture?
Yes, you're not supposed to have that.
But a lot of them replaced the picture with the cross.
You're not. That's graven. Those are trinkets and shit. It's in Exodus.
Is that based on religious belief, or is that real?
No, that they are seen as idols, idol worshiping. Like people say, I wear the cross to remind me. What you need? What do you need? A gold cross or a wooden cross wrapped around it to remind you of your faith. I hear a lot of people say that. Why do you need something to wear on a chain to remind you to be mindful of Jesus or whatever? Why do you need that? You should have that faith. That should be in your heart. You should not wear. I ask people, read the Bible. Don't read it just to be reading the 5. Read the Bible. Don't read one verse. Read that.
I ain't never heard of that, Paul. That's true.
Yeah. Let me see. One of my favorite is that man never.
One of his favorite is that man never wipes
with his right hand. Yep. Stuff like
Why? What's the reason?
It's stuff you have to read it. That's why when Muslims.
Can you explain that to me? Because
I can't really explain it. I remember it, but I can't remember it. Why? That's why when you go to a synagogue or you go to a mosque, the first thing you do.
And that's in the Holy Bible.
Yes. People ignore Paul. Paul says a lot of stuff in there. Like you're supposed to have your head covered. Why do you think? People mock Muslim women by the way they dress and everything, but they dress because that's tradition. You're not supposed to
greet other men because you shake people's hand with your right hand.
Right?
I think that's why you're supposed to wash them. Because I don't think they had like soap and stuff like that back in the day.
Wash your hands, rinse your hands. Like at the mosque, and that's synagogues. When you go in there, first thing you do, you take off your shoes. Then you go to the bathroom. You wash your face first. You go from top to bottom. Face first, hands up to the elbows, mouth, and then your feet. Then you walk into the area where you pray. It's in the Bible.
For all you preachers, I know I got some questions.
You're supposed to have your head covered.
Really?
It's in there. People they listen to the preacher, but they're not reading the word. There's a thing in Islam that teaches this. There's a thing in Islam. Guess what I learned? They said Judaism, Christianity, and Muslim. The story of that is like the man who needed someone to do his farm. He hired a Jewish person. Said, "Look, I'm going to pay you this amount of money if you take care of my farm. You cut the grass, da da da." The Jewish person did a third of it. Said, "Look, I want my money. I'm done." He paid the Christian guy. He did another third. Now I'm done. The Muslim guy went on and finished everything off. Things happen in threes.
Okay.
And see, read the Bible. That's the best I can say. Find its earliest form. And I always tell people, I got Bibles in here. I got some
old.
Old.
It's not in the new Bible. It's in the old Bible.
Yes, in the new one. It's just reworded, but it's in there. It's in the RSV. It's in the NASV. It's in there. But you want to find the earliest part because you always want like in Islam, they tell you read the earliest form of the Bible you can find, because a lot of the early stuff is where it's not, when you translate it to English, some shit, like a lot of stuff is not removed. That's why they tell you find the Bible in its earliest form. People say, "Oh,
Paul and Exodus got all the tea."
Huh?
So Paul and Exodus got all the tea.
Exodus and read things. What Paul? Yeah, Paul. Yeah, it's just like Christmas trees.
I know that.
The book of Jeremiah tells you not to have a Christmas tree, but people still argue. Oh, he's not saying that. In the book of Jeremiah, he describes a Christmas tree from the ornament to the thing that you twist in. He says it. The book of Jeremiah. He tells the weeping prophet. He says it. He don't say the Christmas tree, but he says people will cut down trees in the forest, bring it home, da 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 da, ornament with different stuff, da da da, and use a thing at the bottom. I can't remember the exact word to keep it from fall. He describes it, and he says, "Don't do it." But people don't listen. When you tell them that, "Oh, you're making it up," I like, read the Bible. Me and my brother Dwelle, we used to get into it all the time. So he was a preacher, and he didn't listen to me because I was a Muslim. I said, "Bro, one thing they teach us in Islam is always."
I do remember something about the tree though, so I'm not too. But I'm gagging off of the other stuff.
Let me see. Washing hands.
Like that right hand wiping your ass. Oh, I'm sorry. What doing that? I never heard of that.
Let's see. Let me get. I'm googling it right now so I can find it.
Wow. That's interesting.
Wash your hands and clean, emphasizing the importance of doing it. It was right. What does the Bible say when washing hands?
Paul broke that down. He said it's because you greet other people.
You greet,
like a handshake.
Yeah, like in Islam. In Islam, you don't. If you eat, you don't shake hands while you eating. Like if we
anyway.
Like if I meet you in Islam, if I meet you, I'm not supposed to shake your hand and hug you. You place your hand over your heart, and we say Alhamdulillah. That means all praise, be to God. That's how we do. We're not supposed to hold you and da da da. We're supposed to.
Well, that's how y'all be touching titties anyway.
Nah, no, we ain't got to touch you. We're supposed to do it to us ourselves.
No, I'm just saying, that's how.
No, we're supposed to put our hand on our heart. Don't be trying to twist that shit.
It is. Listen. That's how they. Remember, it's so happy.
Don't be trying to twist that shit. Ain't got nothing to do with those titties. But all right, here it is in Matthew 7, 137. Matthew 7, verse 1 to 37. And here it is in James 4, 8. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, Those double-minded. And here in the book of Exodus, it talks about washing your hands and your feet and stuff like that. It's in there. It's in there. People don't read it. Me and my brother, like I said, Dwella used to go at it all the time. Like, he didn't listen to me because he said, "Oh, you're a Muslim." I said, bro, I had to read the whole Bible to become a Muslim because I have to respect the Bible. And I said, dude, read it. Read it. Read it. Don't listen to what I tell, and I'll tell Christians again today, stop listening to your pastor. If you care about the word, read the word.
But they say they read it. I'm not going to sit up here and say I read the whole thing. I haven't read the whole thing. I
read what you're looking for. That's it. Read what you're looking for.
Okay.
Go to Google, find what you're looking for, and when the verse comes up or the verse is, open your Bible and just read that whole verse, the whole paragraph. Read it.
The whole chapter, you mean?
No,
now you're telling me, because I ain't never. I'm just saying, if you're telling me James and Exodus got all the good stuff, I'm going to read that.
Exodus got a lot of stuff. Exodus basically is the one that tells you about how you shouldn't be talking about how people bad, like the commandments and stuff. Exodus is the business. Exodus is the one that tells you about.
Don't come to talk about nobody else then.
Exodus will be talking about false prophets. Exodus is, I would tell Exodus. My favorite books in the Bible are Exodus, Ecclesiastes.
I said, don't call me and talk about nobody else then.
Oh, nah, you know me. Exodus, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon are my 3 favorite books in the Bible.
Okay.
Christians, read the Bible. Stop listening to the preacher because he's this, that. Half the time, he's just trying to smash your ass. Either that, he's trying to get your money. I'm just keeping it 100. Read your Bible. You do not have to go to his church.
You're gonna attack so many people tonight.
But I'm not attacking them. I'm telling them right now.
You definitely.
I don't trust. There's only 2 preachers in my life I trusted. You don't have to go to his church to learn the word. He's teaching you what he's teaching you. But if you want to learn the word, pick up your Bible and read it. Don't read a verse just because you say, okay, it says this in John 1:1. Don't do this. Read John 1:1 to John 1:10 or whatever that paragraph is. Read the Bible.
So should they bring these questions up in Bible study?
Yeah. Okay. That's what
we're going to say that, guys.
When I was locked, look, Coco, when I was locked up, this is after I seen the movie Malcolm X. In fact, it was not too long ago. I got locked up like right after the movie came out. Mm-hmm. And I know it's a part where he challenged the preacher in the jail, in the prison. And the preacher called him the devil. He said, being neither one of us seen the devil, you can't call me the devil. He said that. You can't call me that because you don't know what he looks like. I don't know what he looks like. And he was questioning. I said, dang. And when I got locked up, when I got locked up, I was in between. I had just met that Muslim guy, and I got locked up like right after that. I was a Christian at the point, and he had told me, "I'll see you in a while." Cause I told him I'm probably gonna do some time. Got locked up. I got into the little church thing.
You got locked up?
Yeah, I did 19 months. I told you that.
I thought you was going to say you did 19 months. I thought you was going to say you did like 5 years.
Oh hell no! Nah.
Oh, you went to
I ain't doing no crazy shit to get 5 years. Hell no, 19 months was enough for me. So I ain't been back. But anyway, and when I got into the little chapel and the preacher was talking, I started questioning him about things. And I seen what Denzel with Malcolm X. He got really irate with me. And I was just asking.
Was this in New York?
Huh?
You was locked up in New York?
No, this is down here. This down here. So I'd be damned if I get locked up in New York. I only went to juvenile in New York. And that was good enough for me. Nope, I ain't going back here. But I started asking him questions. And he got mad. And like I said on a few shows ago, the question I asked him was, is Jesus God? And that's the question that I can never get the same answer from the same guy. And he said, yeah. I said, well, how is Jesus God? He said, well, Jesus is God in the flesh. I said, so basically, Jesus never died when they put him on the cross. He said he did. I said, well, so you saying they killed God? He said, no. I said, well, you just said Jesus is God in the flesh, right? He said, yeah, he did. I said, so basically, what he did was deceive the world. Like, look, I'm gonna make it look like I died just so people can believe in me. Right? He said, no. I said, but that's the story you're telling then. That's what I told him. I said, if he was God and they put him on a cross and they crucified him and died, then man killed God. But if man didn't kill God, but he got people thinking he died, then that means that's deception. I said, is that the false prophet that Exodus talked about? He said, no. I said, well, explain it to me. If I came to you and I said, I'm so-and-so, and you shot me dead in the street, you'd be like, I'm dead, right? Yeah. But if you find out I'm not really dead, you'd be like, oh, he tricked me. I said, that's what that is. He said, no. I said, you're not making sense, preacher. I told him, you're not making sense. I said, if he's God in the flesh, how can man kill God? I said, and then I presented the same question, like I said a few shows ago. I said, then I presented this question. I said, if he was God in the flesh, who was he crying to then? When he said, why have you forsaken me? Basically, why did you leave? Why are you leaving my ass to die here on the cross? Who was he talking to? Himself? And that's when that, just like with Malcolm X, I got called the devil. And I was trying to get answers. I said, when Simon Peter asked Jesus, are you God? He said, don't tell anybody that. I am the Christ, which means I am the chosen one. Christo, Greek, Christo, the chosen one who was chosen. I said, he did not say if he was one who was chosen, he couldn't have been God in the first place, because why? He was chosen. Period. In the book of Ezekiel, it says there will be a prophet. This is why Islam says Jesus is a prophet. There will be a prophet. He will not weep. He will not cry. He will not beg. He will not do that. And I said, well, if that's the case, Jesus did all of that. Who is the prophet that didn't cry or didn't plead for a book? Who is he? I can never get an answer. It can't be Jesus, because Jesus cried. And see, these are the simple questions I ask preachers, and I'm not bashing the Bible, because it's not that, it's the preacher I'm talking about. I'm like, why can't I get an answer? If they say Jesus is the Son of God, but if you look in the book of, I think Ezekiel also, it through that whole book, he says, you're the Son of God. You're the Son of God. The whole book. You're the Son of God. Son of God. I said, well, if that's the Son of God, and they say like Adam. People don't know the word Adam, Adama. The word Adama means from the earth. Adam, from the earth, Adam.
Can I ask someone?
Yeah. I know the Bible.
How we get here?
Because we were talking about religion and politics.
And I had a whole different concept of where you were going with that.
But see, that's why it's all going to tie into that. Now,
okay.
With that being said, how can you use your political affiliation to put into religion and say you're going to make your decisions when they don't match up together? Because religion, when you talk about, even if Christian, I don't care what they all preach the same thing: peace and love. Love your brother. Blah, 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 blah. Treat everyone as your equal. Treat your brother, your neighbor as brother, all that stuff. But in politics, it's division. Democrat, Republican, Independent. Okay. They have their own political interests, financial interests. So, in other words, one side is going to be like, we feel jilted. The other side is going to be, yeah, we got what we want. We don't like the other side. So you can't put politics and religion together. Because religion is about peace and love, basically.
But I think that was brought up last week. I can't remember who said it. It was pretty much like it is very true, because you do start to see a lot of the politicians, as far as like for presidencies, councilmen, and all of that, they do go to the church, and then you do start to see preachers and what bishops, whatever, they start to put that into their sermons of elections and certain people, whatever. It's very convincing to get the vote. So for me, it was always kind of interesting, like, is what is this? What's the word? Not heathen, but it's like I should say it's deceptive. And then you start to see those same, especially if they have a larger congregation or whatever like that, they start to really get into it, and they start to do these speeches and use the word of God, their congregation, and build on top of that, then you start to see them running and all of this. So I was always wondering, like, I don't know how to
Let
say
me
it.
ask you a question.
I don't want to say, I know what I want to say, but I want to make sure I choose my wording correctly, because I don't want to offend, and I know it's going to sound really messed up if I say it the way I want to say it. So I'm not going to say it.
Well, let me ask you a question. And this is not to knock on Trump, but let me ask you a question. Why does he always go black churches? Because what? He's trying to get the black vote. How often do you see him going to white churches? Or they same with Biden. What do? They go to black churches. Why? They want the black vote. That's why. Look at it. And everyone goes. When what our people say, well, look at Trump. He came to the black church. You know he cares about black people? No, he wants the black vote. Period. And if these guys really cared about all of us, and I'm gonna talk, being Trump is the flavor of the month right now.
And it's deeper than that. They pay off them churches too. I
know that.
I didn't want to say it.
No, it is true. And when I look at that,
pay off the churches, and I feel like, to me, that's where the issue comes, because I feel like your religious belief and your spiritual belief should never be held, or should never have a price. I think those should be separate entities. But when I start to see a lot of these leaders of the church, let's just call them that, get heavily into the political realm, it's this. I'm gonna say it's disheartening to see, only because it's like, really, and it's like, this is really where we are. You know, and I could remember when I was into church. I don't recall, and I could have been too young to recall, but I don't recall it being this thick or this heavy. You might have had one or two, or whatever, and then you started seeing different ones. They were in a community leadership role. They may have been preachers, and then you started to see them ease their way into that, and like away from the church. So is that the goal, do you think?
You know when I noticed it? 2000. When John Kerry and Bush were going at it. They made it like a promise. But you know, another reason I can go into that rally today, when I looked in the crowd, I seen it had to be about good 300 people, maybe more out there. It might have been about 500 people. Trump supported black-wise, I might have seen 10 black people. 10 black people. And if you think, I'm like, and when you think of a Trump supporter, this might sound racist, but it's not. When you think of a Trump supporter, you think of white, I don't want to call them suburban, I'll say white rural people. Christian. Don't say you're a Muslim. Look how Ilhan Omar gets treated. Muslim woman, Congress, been in office, I don't know how long now. Young, black, beautiful, the whole thing Muslim. Look how she's treated by people from the red side because she's a Muslim woman. It's the other one, I can't remember her name, it's two of them actually. And they get treated like trash from the red side. Hakeem, from Jersey. I can't remember his name. Same way, treated the same way. So politics and religion don't mix, because
I don't think so. It shouldn't. Unfortunately, it's mixy. It's mixing now, but
that's
I don't
how you get the vote.
But that's just our person. I don't think it should. I think that's like a real slippery slope, and it's
you can't put them together.
Some people can agree, and then I don't even want to say I slightly disagree when we say what the Republican Party looks like, because right now we in the time we don't know.
No, I'm not talking Republican Party. I'm talking about Trump supporter. I'm not talking Republican
even
Party.
with him. I mean, I would have probably before say yes. I definitely agree with that. Or is it a population of people that support him that fits that? Yeah, but then I'm starting to see a whole new population of people that look just like us.
You know why?
Heavy on him, huh?
You know why? Think about it. They don't like Kamala Harris because of what her track record is in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like Obama because they said Obama didn't do nothing for black people. So they said Trump, 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 Trump. Now, don't get me wrong. When Trump first got in office, he was doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when his star started growing,
yeah,
he went from president to movie star.
Mm-hmm.
It was all about it was all about him. It was no longer about America. It was about him. And see that was his mate. And see, that's why I couldn't vote for him now. Because looking at what I saw today, I was like, nah, I can't vote for him. And looking at that book is I should have got a copy of it and posted it on Facebook, but I'm pretty sure I can find one tomorrow. Just laying around in the street. I'm pretty sure I can. And if I do, I'll pick it up.
I just hope. And I'm being really optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope this Friday or Saturday, whichever day she do it,
mm-hmm.
I hope Mrs. Harris have something good to say.
Me too.
Outside of the banter,
I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to hear that. I want her to push all of that to the side. So Kamala, whatever.
Tell me what you're gonna do.
That's it. Because I haven't heard it yet. And I think this is when you were off. Paul was like, well, he said that and it was the same speech that he did there. That's what I was saying when I asked you, and you was like you weren't sure. So Paul said that was it. He was pretty much saying like she's waiting for him.
Yeah, I heard you say that. Yeah.
So he do it. So that was the same thing. And unfortunately, that's what it looks like because it's always in a rebuttal form. And everybody says like, well, she was thrown in there. She didn't know she was going to run. This is and the third. I call bullshit and I say okay too at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, only because granted she didn't know, but y'all knew it didn't look good when y'all knew y'all was going to throw her ass in there. You got a team, right?
You know what, Coco?
People who should have been like, okay, yeah, we're gonna come in with this, but at this stage in the game, outside of the mentions of like abortions and all of that stuff, like okay, we get that. Talk about something that's really affecting people, which is, that's affecting people. Don't get me wrong, as a woman. However, the economy is what people are really, really want to hear about. The cost of living, Medicare, because a large number of us who voting in that middle age range or whatever, who are still effective voters. We're worried about as we get pushing retirement, what do we have to look forward to? Because at this
Social
point,
Security,
anything, so we need Social Security, Medicare, all of those things. Those are the things we want to hear about. I could give two shits about how you feel somebody hurt your feelings and attack your character. Man, you're a whole politician. You know something,
Coco. You know why I'm calling bullshit too? You were the vice president for 3.5 years. You know what the hell's going on out here. You should, and you know what? And yeah, I'm calling bullshit about the policies because you knew what Biden's policies were. You were his vice president for 3.5 years so far. You're still vice president. You gonna tell me you didn't know you wasn't paying attention to the news, what's going on, to everything going on out here? You don't know what's going on out here? She should have been up, and I'm gonna put it on her. She should have went up there and be like, look, I'm not listening to this nigga right here. I ain't listening to Trump. These are the issues that we gotta do. We gotta work on this, we gotta improve on this. That's all she had to do, go up there, be like, have her numbers up there. Like when Obama went up there, I give him prop. When he went up there, he came out of nowhere. His first thing, he was a young senator, came out of nowhere. But he went up there and said, "This is what's wrong. We got to fix this. We got to do that." And same with Kamala, he was just a guy who threw his hat in and won a nomination to where Kamala was already vice president. He had his numbers, what he needed to do. When he walked, he said, we got a deficit, this we got to do this, gas prices astronomical, we got to bring the gas. He knew all this shit before he knew his shit. Kamala was vice president. She's still vice president, 3.5 years. She should know already what needs to be done. Improve on the things that were working well and tweak the stuff that needs to be tweaked. Period.
Yeah, and the thing that is set for her, okay, you're a woman, you're a multi-race woman. We know that. We got that. We got that. So you already know you got to come a little bit harder because you are a multi-race woman in this race. The woman thing already. So the expect you got to come in. You can't come in playing and playing the little games. And I mean, it's a good cover up for the moment. But now, ma'am, people catching on, and you got to say something. And then the more that this image is projected, or this is the trajectory of you, people gonna call you bullshit. You already got the momentum.
Yeah.
You got to feed off of it. And even if you got to feed the bullshit and fake it till you make it, at least fake it right.
Yeah. One thing she can
I
do.
just want to see her talk about something substantial that people really, really, really care about. You know what I mean? Because
one thing she can do
it is what it is. And I feel like with that, and they're always going to be, I think the abortion thing is going to always be a thing. It's going to always be two sides of the spectrum. You're going to always have, it's predominantly men in the political realm who's going to make a decision. Should men
that needs to change?
Should men have a say so on what women do? No, but hey, that's the world we live in, and we came from a time where women didn't even have a voice in this arena, right? So now that we have it, capitalize off of that. Okay, keep that on there, but you know we got you on that, ma'am. We need some other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, do that. So I just want to see. I just want her to give me something good. That's
yeah, me too. She got to do something, and she got to ignore him.
Yes.
Like, let him do all the talking he want to do about her. You talk to the people.
Yeah, because that's how he's freeing people. He's calling her out where she's slacking. I'm gonna say that because it is. He's calling her out where she's slacking. So with that, he's getting to them, her and her party, whereas though they're putting in that. But then, like I said, he throws his shit in the middle. But we know where his aim is. And one, he knows people want to make money. He knows the economy is fucked.
Yeah.
So he constantly talks about that. He constantly talks about the ownership and all of that stuff. So that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Paul said being a president ages the hell out of you. Look at every president. Oh, I'm sorry. He said, look at every president after they come out. By then, Biden wouldn't live through another term. He wouldn't. Trump is in the same boat. Difference is Kamala versus Vance as president. Yeah. She definitely has a more youthful, probably more years. But we have to hear her actually speak about something that states that she is ready. We're not going to say run the country because we know I don't want to get attacked on saying that. But she is the figure that can be strong enough to go and speak up and be the representation of this country in a way. That's the difference because you can't insult Korea and all of them when you go there. You got to actually speak and really be able to convince. That's all politicians are. You got to be able to convince people and be able to. So if you can convince us, we trust that you can go ahead and convince these other people to give us some resources to trade, to do some stuff, and we can get some. We got right now. She's not. Unfortunately, I'm just being from my window of realisticness. I know that's not a word, but is she's not showing that she's ready.
She's not.
Unfortunately,
she really isn't.
And I really hope that whatever she says this weekend changes my mind on it.
She needs to focus on the people. Period. Don't focus on Trump. Don't focus on Vance. Focus on the people. That's it. Because I think her vice president, I think he's ready for prime time. I got faith in him.
Yeah. Have you say Michelle?
Huh?
You
said what?
I only seen. It could be just me because I,
Mm-hmm.
I be studying, working all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I seen Obama once. Find out, when he said, she has my support.
Yeah,
I have not seen Michelle.
I know.
Michelle, the one that she need to get to say something.
That's yeah. I
That's
would
who she
I
needs.
would rather her been the vice
That's
president.
saying something to me because I'm like, where Michelle? Because Michelle usually be front and center.
I would now her. I would rather her be vice president. Actually,
I would too.
I would
I
love
thought
her.
she was going to pull a. I thought she was going. I thought she was. I thought she was going to come with it and do that, but she didn't. That would have been a power move.
Yeah,
That would have been a power move.
yeah, yeah.
She said
I wish.
she's going to turn into Olivia when she gets in there. She has.
Olivia.
She has to because it's getting closer. She did accept the debate, so I'm looking forward to that. Um, whenever they do debate, I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say. I am. I wanna support in the best way, but she's kind of making it hard for me. I
Yeah,
ain't saying I support him either, but
yeah. It's crazy, man. I mean, I don't know, man. It's anyway.
you gonna run for president?
Shit.
I mean, you already called this House of Dragon.
If
Uh,
I ran for president,
of the seas. Let me
they
make sure.
wouldn't like me.
No, you can't have no dragon because you in the sea.
I think I do good as president.
No,
I
you
listen to the
that's
people.
too much.
I listen to the people no matter who they are. I'll listen to the people and be like, we're gonna. I listen to the people.
You can cuss some people out though.
Oh they got a ham cussing man, cuss their ass out. Hold up, man. Wait a minute. We ain't having that shit.
That's why you can't
Yeah,
run.
we ain't having that shit. I'm like, hold up, y'all.
They're gonna be
Y'all don't
like,
even know me. Y'all
your
trying to
first day
wild
in
out.
office, you getting fired.
Y'all wilding out, and y'all don't even know what I do. I'll be, yeah, okay, I see it. I'm gonna do to y'all ass. You wilding out. But anyway, it's
What are we
time to
gonna
close
talk
the show.
about? Yes,
Anyway, I'm gonna close the show.
please.
It's 2 hours. Anyway, everyone, thank you for tuning in to the Casual Convo Show. Listen to it every Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, hamradio.org. Listen to me every day. From Monday to Wednesday, 10 to 12 on hamradio.org and 6 to 8 p.m. on hamradio.org, right before the Casual Convo Show. Thanks to everybody that tuned in, Jay Bear. Of course, my man King Paul
Oh,
in the
hold up.
building.
There ain't no get that win because y'all just lost your first preseason opener, and I sang it. I synced it. I was there.
Yeah, he got to chill with that one.
But guess who did win that preseason opener though?
Yep, Giants too. Giants too. And we ain't bragging.
Go Pats.
I hear you. I think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna have a rough year this year, but I think they're gonna come up.
We all right.
I
We
think
good.
they. I think they're gonna come up. I think they'll go through some rough spots this year, but I think
I
after
don't
this
think we're
year,
gonna be as bad as what people think. I'm trying. Mark
nah,
my words. We're not
yeah,
gonna
I
be
don't
as
think
bad as
I don't
people
think they'll
think.
be as bad as people say. I think they won't be good, but I don't think they'll be as bad as people
You
say they're
tried
gonna
it.
be.
You
You
tried it. You tried
um,
it just now. Just close us out. Thank you.
but they do play each other this year. The Pats and Ravens.
You ain't never seen me with that shit on, so use a lie. Oh, excuse me.
Now
I'm sorry.
I've never heard you say
Close us
anything.
out. I think it right get me started.
I've never heard you say anything about the Ravens either. It was always been anti-Ravens. So yeah, I agree. I ain't never seen you say anything that made you even sound like a Ravens fan.
He gonna talk about text my. I see you at a game watching this big L.
Anyway, let me close the show. I already gave them platforms. But yeah, check us out, man. Every Wednesday, it was a good show today. We talked a little politics. And when it comes to voting, vote for the best interest. Don't vote for the party. Vote for the person who you think is going to make your life better. Don't vote for the party. It's always people over the party. Not the people make the party. The party don't make the people. All right. Thanks for Rich Behind the Board. Of course, get your hand radio merch. Get your hoodies, get your shirts, get your beanies. I call them beanies, but get your hats. Good quality, 100% good quality. They don't shrink on you. The logo looks dope because it's like hand radio. Got the little message at the bottom, fade to white and gold. Shit's dope, for real. Next week, I'm going to wear the shirt so y'all can check it. No, I got to wear the hoodie because my niece took my shirt. So I got to wear the hoodie. But check it out, handradio.org/shop. For Rich in the back, I'm Bosco for the Bronx. For Coco, we are out until next Wednesday. Peace, people. And so...
You're so corny.